Hi everyone, welcome to the Weekly SEO. Today it's been such a long time. I'm here with Nefise. Nefise, how are you?
Thank you, Büşra. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon in Turkey, and the weather is always sunny. I guess I can't see them behind the curtains, but it's good. So it's that day of the week. This is Friday, and it's Weekly SEO time.
And I'm
How
really
was your
excited.
week?
That was nice. As you said, the weather is really nice. I like this kind of weather. That makes me feel more motivated to work.
Yep, that's really good. And we are just let's wait for a few seconds for the newcomers, and we can good to go. And if you have any questions, guys, you can ask. Feel free to ask us. We would be happy to answer them. And yeah, people are coming, I guess.
Mhm.
Are you excited for today's presentation?
Of course, I'm excited because I love content SEO. I want to improve my content SEO skills because maybe in future, in Monday, I can say myself I'm a content SEO executive. So this is also special to me, this topic.
Hi, Tuba.
Hi, Tuba. Welcome. And also, it is nice because we will share some real life experience. This is also important, I think, because people doesn't like to read the same classic thing. So we will share some real life example that's gonna be help to you.
Oh, hi Brenda. How are you? I hope you're well.
It's
People
nice
are
to see you here, Brenda. By the way, my first session.
people are coming. We can start slowly.
Okay.
So, guys, the goal of this session is to keep you updated about the industry news or any experiments we made or any topics we choose. And today we will talk about content SEO mistakes to avoid. And we have really particular mistakes that you should avoid. It will be fun.
Sorry. Yes. I think we lose some of our slides, but we can start with this, right?
Um, yeah, you can start.
Yeah, yeah. Probably we lost something in there. There was some different slides. So the first one is not having a content strategy. We want to start with this content strategy because you know that always every time you have to be planned about your project. So if you don't have a content strategy, so it means that probably you didn't research your competitors, you didn't research your niche, your sector, and probably you will target the wrong keywords for your content strategy. So the first of all, you need to research this kind of details and then make a roadmap for your content. So unless if you didn't this kind of roadmap strategy, probably you won't be a success. So this is really important. So because of that, we want to put this slide the first step, and then
And this is the biggest problem, I guess, for getting the content in the big jungle of web. So, you publish some content and you totally forget about them, and they're left from 5 years ago or 6 years ago. For some sectors, it may not be important, but especially for finance or health sector, if you're in YMYL sectors, YMYL, your money, your life decision sectors, you need to update your content. You shouldn't forget updating your content because people tend to click on newer content in the search results because if it's important for their financial situation or health problems or any important topic that will affect their lives. That's why I strongly advise you to periodically update your content with useful information and delete all the outdated information you provide in the previous versions. And then if you have a date feature in your blog, you can also update the publish date of the content. But yeah, Adem, and you shouldn't just click and update the date, by the way, if you have anything to update on the page, because it will be meaningless and Google will understand that you're trying to just do something funny there.
Exactly. And other one
And
is
and this is the annual. This is also another interesting topic in most of the blogs we come across. For example, this is a website with providing clothes for boys, children, and women and men. It's a mixed e-commerce website with a lot of clothing options. And when we check their blogs, we just realize that they have a game section. The thing here is that you should consider your content topics before publishing them. Just on merely for traffic, you shouldn't publish any topic that is unrelated to the stuff you're selling for, because it will only bring unrelated traffic with high exit rates and bounce rates. So you should be careful about the possible user intents, possible user behaviors, and search types for your website if you want conversion at the end of content production in the future.
yeah, exactly.
And of course, when we talk about e-commerce sector, there is another problem here. Actually, Aleyda Solis is also talking. Aleyda Solis has also a really beautiful blog post about it. It's the e-commerce categories with endless content. You know, this page is from eBay. It's Apple Watch category. There are hundreds of different product pages there listed, but at the end of the page, you see a huge chunk of content. So, you know, we are always talking about the user intent that, user intent this, user intent is important, etc., etc. If you publish a really long content with with really unrelated topics, such as, if this is a buying page, right? This is a user decision page. So if you publish content about what is the Apple Watch here, it will be unrelated, because you know people are already visiting this page to buy something. So the content you will provide here should match with the user intent. It also should include information about the maybe the products, useful information about the products, how to use them, how to be careful about how to use them carefully, or whether they are water resistant or not. So it's a watch page, and you should provide information about the usage and the features of the watches. That's why it's important to create a really detailed outline for these pages. At the end of the day, if you just put a chunk of content here, you can give mixed signals for search engines, and it may be confusing for them to rank for your pages for important conversional keywords.
And like you said before, it's kind of important for not confusing Google. So I think this one is also is avoiding not confusing Google, because let's say you have a product page and you are using your images about your product, and also you need to be use some contents about your product, right? Because you want to use your keywords, because you want to get ranked. But if you just using images instead of using text, probably Google won't understand what you mean, what you targeting, because Google algorithms has not yet developed enough to make sense of the content in the image. Because they don't understand. Google don't understand the text on the images. So if you want to get ranked, if you want to get high traffic, organic traffic, you must create content and use them in HTML format instead of the image. I think this one is the most important content mistake, especially in product pages. So the other one is, this one is also a classic one. You already know that it's the same content with the different URL, because it's really confusing for search engines, because that means you have a different URLs but you have same content, so it's a duplication. And we also know that Google doesn't like this kind of duplication problems, and also it affects the user experience, because people don't want, it's kind of confusing because they went to different pages but see the same content. But on the other hand, there is a different URL but at the same content. So you should combine this different content at the same URL, or maybe you can just redirect one of them the other for solving this problem. But we need to care about, we need to avoid duplicate contents. And the other one is not optimizing anchor text properly. This is really important because it's also about your website structure, because we know that internal linking is important, because Google needs to understand, Google wants to see the ways, because we know that Google starts to crawl your website URL, your web page via the URL. So for example, in this case, they used bu sayfada words as an anchor text. So this means this pages. So actually this pages words not a keyword by itself. You need to use effective and descriptive keywords for using internal linkings, because it is important that. So you just simply, the simplest way to optimize anchor text for right keywords, because Google probably not related your test, your idea, or your link with your content. So this is the other important problems. And the other one is non-optimized images alt text, because also we know that people want to search something on Google Images. So in this case, this content is about the nutrition on a pregnancy duration. So they use P images in the content, but they didn't use a properly keywords. So if someone search on Google Images something about pregnancy, probably they won't see this kind of these pages, because Google won't relate this image with this content. So if you want to be success with your content SEO or everything in your website, you need to be careful about non-optimized images. You need to avoid this mistake. This is kind of important. And the other one is not sharing content regularly. I think this we can talk about this for everything, because if you want to be success, there must be consistent structure. For example, in this case, they post blogged 2021, and after that they didn't post anything. That means, especially for user experience, people might not trust this blog. For example, yes, I'm a SEO executive, but also I'm a user. So I can see from this view. So probably I won't rely this blog, because I thought that I think that they don't care their blog post. So probably it's not a good information to me. So this is important because sharing content consistently, regularly affect everything. User experience also, so Google perspective. So we need to care about this. And the other one is this also basics one, not adding keyword to heading or not using heading tag. Because yeah, every time we mention about Google algorithms is really crazy, but for some parts they need to improve themselves, because especially in here they kind of confusing about understand your contents, because for this case they used peki nasıl as a heading. That means how. So how, it's not a keyword. Yes, of course it's keyword, but at the beginning you shouldn't target this kind of keywords, because it's nonetheless actually. So you need to be careful about your content structure. So, and also you need to add some heading text, because Google will easily understand what you mean in this context. And also, on the other hand, for user experience part, people cannot understand the structure of this content because it's kind of confusing also. If you want to serve a real informational content like this, you need to use keywords in your heading, and also you need to use heading tag. This one is also mistake to avoid in your content SEO. And the other one is optimizing multiple pages with same keywords. But why you should avoid this kind of mistake? Because it causes some problem like cannibalization or duplication or low ranking or low traffic. Because in this case, they use the same keyword for different location. The keyword is about the rental, both daily or hourly. So they want to target the different location, but there are lots of problem about that. The first one is you need to make lots of different pages in your website. So this is kind of confusing, because of course the healthy pages is important, but also we want that Google can easily crawl this kind of pages. But when Google came to these pages, they will see the same keyword but different location. So it means also duplication problem. It means also confusing for user, because the service are same, keyword are same, but only different location. So we need to avoid this kind of mistake also, because if it's about the content SEO success, the keywords are our goal. So every time we need to care this. So the other one is focusing on the blog side without solving technical problems. I think this is the most important one, because no matter how good content you create, no matter how good keyword research you made, if Google cannot crawl your website, it won't be successful. It won't work. For example, in this case, you will see two different URLs. The one of them is with www, and the other one is without www. So there's a duplication problem in this website. So you need to fix this, because this different URLs get ranking. So it's kind of you are sharing your traffic, you're sharing your ranking at the two different pieces. So we don't want to this kind of problem. So and also we need to care about not using robot.txt for the content we want to get ranked. Or also we need to check our sitemap, because as I said before, the site navigation is important, because Google can understand easily with your healthy navigation. So if you want to be success for content SEO, first of all you need to fix some major technical problems. Of course, it's not something you just finished all technical problems so you can go content SEO. It's not like that. At the same time, first of all, you need to fix some vital problems. Of course, you will see for pages in your website, or maybe the other technical problems. But first of all, let's fix problems, and then focus your content strategy in your websites. What do you think, Büşra, about that? I think I talked a lot for this slide.
Actually, yeah, focusing on blog site may not be successful without solving the technical problems, but I have to show something here. I'm sorry, Nefise, but I don't completely agree with you, because it depends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sometimes there may be some technical problems, but technical problems may be hard to solve because of the sprints of the technical teams. So if you want to have quick results with traffic, you may try to want some new blog articles. it's always best to try something. You know, it's growth marketing. You have to grow your business. That's all. So if you want to get news delivered to your inbox, you can always subscribe to our weekly SEO bulletin, guys and girls. And thank you here for being with us today. And you're all excellent. If you have any questions, we can get them. Yeah, Brenda, I totally agree. It's always depends. We are the great dependers. And folks, that's the word of the day. Thank you for being with us and have a nice weekend. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice weekend.